In MCQ 17, this is with regards to electrochemistry. So, by reading out the statement, we're supposed to find out what will happen when a few drops of acidified aqueous hydrogen peroxide. The term acidified will mean that I need to look out for a proton, but it is with hydrogen peroxide. That must have meant that the proton and peroxide must be on the same side of the half equation. I will then be using the third equation over here, because from here you can see that the proton as well as peroxide is on the same left hand side of this half equation. It's added to that of your potassium iodide. So again, to remind you that in the case of potassium iodide, your potassium is always considered to be a spectator ion. And with that, we will be considering the first half equation of I2 plus 2 electrons to give you 2 iodide. Now, just a little bit of a brief reminder here. If you have a very positive E0 value when comparison to a very negative E0 value in a pair, the one that's more positive tends to undergo reduction, and it will then be deemed to be my ER, which is my electrode for reduction. And for the case of the more negative E0 value, it tends to undergo oxidation. It will then be regarded as my EO, the electrode that is for oxidation. And after you have decided who is the ER and the EO, it can be used to calculate the E0 cell value, which is given as ER minus EO. And if E0 cell value is greater than 0, the reaction is considered to be feasible. So for the case here of this two considered half equation, plus 1.77 is more positive than plus 0.54. This will be the ER, and this would have been the EO itself. So writing out the equation for ER, you'll be going through reduction. So H2O2 aqueous plus 2H plus aqueous plus 2 electrons. It will actually becomes 2 units of H2O liquid. For the case of EO, iodide will be going through oxidation to form iodine solution as well as 2 electrons. So trying to fuse both of the half equation by taking a look at the same number of electrons, which is 2 each, the overall equation will look as such: peroxide plus 2H plus 2 iodide will actually becomes 2 units of water plus iodine solution. You can see that there are no gaseous product in the overall equation, so that means that there should not be any effervescence that is being observed, and you go from a colorless iodide solution into the formation of a brown iodine solution. So that must have meant that B is the correct answer over here. And by calculating the E0 value here, if I were to take a positive 1.77 volt that comes from my ER minus that of a positive 0.54 volt, I still end off with an overall E0 value of positive 1.23 volt. And since it's more than 0, this reaction definitely must have also been feasible. The correct answer once again for this question here is B.